Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. As you can see, we are finally doing what we were expecting, to retest this level as a support, and this only can mean one thing. Bitcoin needs to make a decision right here at 50.6. And as we've been saying for quite a few days, one of the decisions is to bounce here and continue the uptrend towards 58, or actually break down, enter this area and confirm that there might be some further downside. The liquidity on the daily time frame, as you can see, is located mostly at 48K. That's a big area of interest, but there's full of liquidity all the way down. And since we have historical levels of opening interest at the moment, mostly from longs, if you're watching this channel, please don't be surprised if all this liquidity causes a squeeze to the longs. This doesn't mean necessarily that the bull market is over or anything like that. That will be perfectly normal within any typical bull market of Bitcoin. The price action is only a game of taking liquidity. As we explained yesterday, there's quite a big chunk of ask liquidity right above the price. And if we zoom in to the 1 month time frame, you can see that they are still located at the same level. On the weekly, those levels are even more clear. There's big confidence at 53, 52.5, and a new block is forming at 51.9. You can also tell that the support at 50.99 has been taken out, and now the next significant level of support, at least on the weekly, is located at 48K. Yesterday, we were looking at the VWAP. I made a video around this candle, and I was telling you to be careful because the delta on high block capital was looking red, meaning that the shorts were exposed at more risk. It was a very shallow delta, and I was expecting that to be sufficient to push towards the first deviation of the VWAP, which is this line around here. I wasn't expecting it to go further beyond, but it actually touched precisely my second band located at 3 times the standard deviation. Right after that, they triggered the sell button, and that pushed the price all the way from 53,000 to 50,000.8. That got some people liquidated, and at the moment, we are printing the first red candles on the 1 hour, closing below this level. We still haven't taken the 50.6 that we had around the 17th of February. That is located around here on the daily, and that's clearly defining a line of support that has confluence as well with this broadening formation, and makes very clear that losing this level puts us back below to enter the broadening formation, just like we did around here on the 9th of January. Conservative target is 48K, an aggressive target will be 42.43, and an extremely risky target will be 36K. I wouldn't count on that, but if we get there, I'm gonna be celebrating like crazy. If Bitcoin manages to get to these levels like 48K or maybe up to 43K, I will expect that to become the trigger to enter a strong altcoin season. As you can see, our forecast on Ethereum BTC pair is playing out almost by the book. We put this line early in January, expecting the breakout, expecting then the retest, and then expecting a bounce above this trend line. You can tell that the price is not very clear, but the RSI is telling us all that we need to know, which is Ethereum, which is setting up itself to outperform Bitcoin. And as long as we continue with this trajectory, that will mean that the flow is high likely to flip into Ethereum, followed by the altcoins. If you want to stay up to date with this, make sure that you're following me on Twitter. My handle is Trading Parrot. And of course, the more likes and the more subscribes that we get in this channel, that seriously motivates me to keep pushing out shorts and quick updates, so you all guys stay up to date with what's going on with the crypto market. If we look at the crypto market RSI heat map, this is showing us all the most important altcoins, and currently I have it set up to the weekly, so you can see that many of the altcoins are extremely overbought, only with a few exceptions. The same goes to the daily, but on the 4 hour, they are starting to get oversold. Many of them are starting to look weak. yesterday this wasn't the case. All time frames were at the red level. So this could be indicating the beginning of a pullback for the altcoins. So be ready to see that. And remember that only once Bitcoin finds their new range and settles at a sensitive level, not an extreme bearish level, then we're going to start seeing that all these projects can start pumping again into the red area. At that point, I will expect the Ethereum BTC pair to be at the very least above 50 level on the weekly. And guys, I have a very special chart for you today. This chart is definitely helping me driving the Bitcoin market, both for finding extremely great entries to hold, and at the same time, it prevents me to enter the market when the risk is too high. I'm gonna let you know at the end of the video where you can find this chart for free. This is on-chain data, and it's called the Active Address Sentiment Indicator. It's an oscillator that compares the 28-day change in price with the 28-day change in active addresses. It takes in consideration the ratio between how much activity there is in the network versus the movements in the price. The oscillator moves across these bands, and a typical great entry is when you're below the lower band, the green one, like for example here and all this area around there. And a typical area of too much risk is when you are above the red. That is not the time where you want to be buying. Although here the price keeps going higher, it's usually way less risky to enter below the green. This is how it looks for over a year. So even during the bear market, at the end, the entries of accumulation below green have proved to be decently good. The potential to the upside is not as big as in a bull market, but still safe enough to be accumulating below the green line. The most recent green entry was at 42K on the 5th of February. Right after that, we shoot all the way to almost 53K. Let me know in the comments and leave a like to this video if you want to stay updated in this channel with whichever of these signals we get in the short and medium term. Alternatively, you can go to the website lookintobitcoin.com, and for free you can always access this chart. And if you get an account with them, you are going to get notified via email every time that we enter any significant level. For example, when you enter below green or when you enter or exit above red as well. You can also download the CSV data and you can do some backtesting. There's one massive level that has formed on Bitcoin that is very unusual, and I want you to be the first one to know about this one. On Trading Light, when you are on the 1 hour, if you scroll up to the top, you're gonna see now that there is this very sketchy level that started forming on the 20th of February. That's yesterday. So when this was pumping to 53K, they decided to put sell orders right below the all-time high. And that is really interesting because that means that some people are expecting to see a pump to all-time high, and it's not just any amount of liquidity. It's 509, which is larger than most of these local levels that you have around here. And it's larger than any support that we have there as well. At 49.5, we have a level of almost 500, but it's still less than these two levels of 500. So there's over 1,050 if we put together these two levels. And this is really interesting to see. You can see that in the past, sometimes they start putting these levels there just to see if they can get lucky. This is not to tell you that tomorrow we are going to hit necessarily 68K, but it's telling you that some people have the confidence that the price might resume going higher and they want to be the first ones to short the market right before the all-time high. So I use this information just mainly as a sentiment indicator rather than an entry or exit signal. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with this chart here where is currently the resistance. It's not impossible that we can continue going to 58. Just remember that in order to get us there, we should not break below this level. Remember that you can do a week to here, but if it gets bought very quickly and comes back up above the support, that still constitutes a successful retest, and that could be the beginning of our way up. we need to close below here on the daily and break that level at the end of Wednesday. And that will be our signal that there is high likelihood that we are going to continue coming down. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.